John Birmingham. Hi. Hey. Yo. What are you doing? Good morning. Good morning, the title of my video. Hi. I just did 136 push-ups. You can look back at my videos and see that it's true if you want, or just I'll tell you right now. Excuse me. I spent 3 or 4 weeks getting my house ready because I found out it went up in value. All the real estate, especially in my area, like went up in value. It's amazing. And I morally can't really understand why, but I felt like I had to keep working on something because I don't have a regular job, so it felt like I had to work harder, work at stuff more. So I worked really hard at my house, a lot at my house. I worked a bunch at my house, way more than that. I worked relentlessly at it again for a month, 4 weeks, whatever it was, 12 hours a day, something like that, 8 hours a day. Maybe not 12 hours a day, maybe 8 hours a day this time. It wasn't as much, but it was, it was really like a relentless fear driving me to do it. Like, you got to get a job, stuff like that, in my thoughts. So I felt like I had to really work on my home so it would go up in value, so I'd have enough money if I had to rent it or something like that. So I did that for that long, and then I filmed a video on it, and it's on my channel. It's like tour of my home, and it shows a lot. It shows most of the house and some of the small amount of the yard, and I made a video on the home. It doesn't show 8 of the rooms. And I said that in the video in a quick title. I don't know if you see it or not, but so I did a video on my house to show that I got it in good condition. And then I looked at my body. I looked at my body. Oh, then I took 2 days to finally not have to work on the house. Finally not be pushed by that constant fear and worry, get a job. That was pushing me to work 8 or more hours a day, maybe, more, especially way more than that, because when I wasn't working, I was figuring out how am I going to get my kids back, how am I going to get Danica and the kids here, stuff like that, and I did something about that I'm sending Danica a letter, and she's gonna have to come home because I found out she's not supposed to be in Texas. Before she leaves with the kids, she has to get permission. She can't just leave with the kids. And we both have custody of the kids. So I think we both have custody. I have to look back. And so I was doing that constantly, 18 hours a day, however much I was awake. 12 hours a day, something like that, whatever. And so I finally got one day to not work, and I ate food. I ate a bunch of food, and I made sure it was like protein. I had all these Wendy's hamburgers. It was really weird. It was kind of gross too, but it was because when I got the food, it was kind of gross. I don't want to talk about it, but for a long time, the entire time I was working on the place, I'd smell like a dead body of a little animal or a big animal. I didn't know what it was. And the cats had brought in these little chipmunks and threw them under the bed. It was under my bed the entire time, and it was kind of making me sick. Here and there I'd get sick and be like, oh, gosh, it was awful. You know, like these little dead bodies of these animals, and finally I swept them up. There were 3 of them, and the cats did that weird ass crap. So I'm not letting them run in and out like with the doors open all the time anymore, because then I have to, like, if I smell something, I have to find out what do they do. So it was kind of gross when the food first arrived, to finally not have to work and finally get to eat whatever I felt like not have to watch my food and constantly work at stuff. And I finally was gonna eat what I felt like and have a big meal and celebrate. I got my house ready, it looks good. You know, if I have to rent it, I can, I'll have enough money. And then the dead bodies of the chipmunks and shit started smelling really bad right when the food arrived. And I finally found them, and I threw the chipmunks way outside. And then I couldn't eat the food until the smell really went away. And it made it gross. The entire trying to eat the Wendy's food, because it was like a dead cow. It was like real hamburgers. And it made it so gross, like it was a dead body. And I couldn't even enjoy it on my day off. So the next day, I was like, I'm gonna see if I can not work today too. And I took it easy, and I was gonna throw away the food, but then it smelled good again, and it was like the food was okay, so I heated it up and ate it. And then the second day was okay. I did kind of like here and there, I might do like little light workouts, but I mostly just didn't work out at all and just kind of laid in bed for 2 days after the month of working in the house. And then, so after the 2 days of laying there in a bed, finally not having to be driven and pushed by a fear to work 12 or 14 or 18 hours a day constantly for a month. Before that, finally got 2 days of rest. And the first day was awful. I was still winding down, and it was just awful. It wasn't that good, even though I didn't really do that much. But of course, I was working on trying to get the kids back and stuff. But then the second day, I got those 2 days rest. Then I felt like I had a ton of good, really valuable energy. really valuable energy. As anxiety sounding as that sounds, because I said a lot of energy, like a vacant lot with no house on it. After I just worked on my house and turned a tremendous amount, I had a lot of energy. Oh shit, everything I was working on, it's not, you know, I was working to get my house better. But every house has a lot on it. It has land. It depends on how big the lot size is, and the house, and the square footage inside the house and stuff like that. So I finally got those 2 days of rest to calm down, to wind down. It took till the second day that I could really enjoy finally eating the food that I felt like and feeling okay. So then the third day, I was like, what do I do? I'm gonna make money. Do I rent out the house? I should wait till warm weather, or stay here. I'm probably gonna stay here. What should I work at now? So it's like I had all this energy. So I filmed a video. I started filming a video. First I worked on the house more because I found out that there was like dust on stuff, and I don't know how it got there. I must have left the window open or something. I don't know what. So I had to dust the entire place on the third day all morning. All morning I spent like a wet rag wiping stuff down, the floors, the edges, every surface in here. And so on the third morning I did that, had no food, had caffeine because I had eaten for 2 days, and laid in bed a little bit trying to wind down, and then really I got to feel okay laying in bed and eating food. So on the third day I worked on my house all morning again. And then I was like, I don't have that much more to do. I can't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. And I was like, what do I do now? What do I work at now? And I was like, I'm gonna start a video. So I filmed a video. I started filming a video, and I was like, I'll call it Working Out, or Let's Work Out. And it was a couple videos ago, and I called it Let's Work Out. And the video is almost 4 hours long. It's about 4 hours long, 3 hours 56 or 57 minutes, 3 hours and 57 minutes, something like that. So in the video, I was born here, so I was about to born to do. Oh Obama, motherfucker. I'm look, this is Obama. I used to be black, man. I changed my skin too. Kenya, birth certificate, man. I was born in Kenya, man. I don't know, man. So I was working on stuff, driven by fear, get a job, but my job was not normal enough, so I had to constantly work and work really hard. So on the third day of not working on my house anymore, I actually spent all morning working on my house again because it had gotten kind of dusty somewhere in here. And then I was like, what do I work on now? What should I work on now? So I was like, finally getting back in shape after I spent 4 weeks working on my house constantly, not really getting to work out that much and not really getting to put that much effort into my appearance and body and physique or shape or whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna do a video and work out a bunch. So this was 2 days ago. This was 2 days ago. Please, sure, man. And I don't want to make fun of black people, please. And I won't, and I don't want to. And so anyway, so I made a long video. I made a really long video, 4 hours long, or like 3 hours and 57 minutes, working out a bunch here and there, and somehow laying in a bed for about 2 days, and finally on the second day getting to feel okay after I had wound down from working on my house a bunch. I finally got to eat food and ate protein. I ate these chicken nuggets and meat, but that doesn't matter as much as long as it's quality protein and quality foods. And it happened to be meat, but it could have been vegan. And I ate a good healthy food, and I ate the food, and this was 2 days ago, and this was 3 days ago when I ate the food. Then 2 days ago, I woke up and just drank coffee. I hadn't eaten for 2 days, and finally calmed down. So I was like, I had tons of energy. So I filmed. This was 2 days ago. Starting around noon, after I cleaned my house all morning and only drank coffee, I was like, I'm gonna go more. So I drank more coffee, or said, I'm gonna work out. And before I even had more coffee or anything, I started filming a video. I worked out a ton. I started working out a bunch. Somewhere in the video, I started drinking more coffee to keep me going through the 4 hours of working out. And I did all these things with working out that I hadn't done that much before, and it was from my body finally feeling okay that one day, finally getting to where I had one day I had wound down from being driven by fear, whatever the fuck it was, and I ate food and laid in bed and felt really good the day before. So this next day, which was 2 days ago, I worked out like, this was 2 days ago. So I worked out a tremendous amount. I did 21 arm push-ups on this side and 21 arm push-ups on that side. So I did 41 arm push-ups in one set, and more push-ups. I did like 20 or 30 more push-ups, or 10 or 20 more push-ups. I did all these push-ups. I did 20 on one arm, 20 on the other arm. I had only done, like, that I remember, 10 on each arm when I was in pretty good shape. And I did 20 this time because the food that I had eaten, like somehow did something. The next day I had tons of energy. This was 2 days ago. I worked out all day, and then then I watched the video I was gonna make. I was really excited. I was gonna do more workouts the rest of the day, even not film however much there was in the day, for that one day that I got to really work out a lot in a month, because I spent a month or 4 weeks working on this house, relentlessly driven by fear, 12 hours a day, 14, 18 hours a day, including talking to Danica, and trying to get my kids back, which is a responsibility and effort. And I did that for a month, and I neglected my body. So I finally got one day to really work out, and that was 2 days ago. You know, I'd been doing little stuff here and there to kind of keep muscle on, but I didn't have enough time to do it because I was working on my house so much. So 2 days ago, I worked out a tremendous amount, and I did the most stuff that I had done in a while. And I did 22 chin-ups in one set. I did 10 wide stance pull-ups downstairs on the machine, on that thing. I did 10 wide stance pull-ups. I can do this and flex my muscles more so it looks like I'm doing it. And did 22 chin-ups in one set. I did 21 arm push-ups and 21 arm push-ups on that side for a total of 40 and more push-ups all in one set. I did all kinds of other exercises, curls. I did 100-pound, I held the 100-pound dumbbells, 200 pounds, and did lunges on each leg. One leg lunges holding 200 pounds for each leg. So I finally did more weight for my legs. I had only been doing the 45 pounds here and there, like the add up to 90. And I also did those in the video. I did like 10 or 20 sets. I must have done 20 sets or 14 sets of like all these different exercises throughout the video. So I worked out it a bunch. And then I woke up the next day and I finally looked good again. I finally looked better again. My face looked younger. My body looked younger. I had made up for that month of constantly working on the house, not giving myself attention that I needed to work out and stuff. And I looked really good, so I filmed another video and I said I look cool or something. I changed the way my hair looked. I changed the way my hair looked a little bit. I changed the way my hair looked somehow, and I looked in better shape. It looked like I lost 5 pounds or 4 pounds or something like that, and I was down to 225.4 or something like that when I woke up, and I had been like 230 or whatever. So I looked really good. So I filmed a video of me in the mirror looking cool, like my face looked better, and I felt in better shape. I put a quick 2-minute video on my page for it. He's gay. 2 minutes on his own gayness. And so it made me feel happy for the first time in like a month of continually being driven by fear of working every waking minute of the day at stuff. And so I had a day to work out that day, and then the next day I looked okay. I was like, I kind of took it easy. I barely had any caffeine at all. I had like, I'd say less than a cup. A little bit less than a cup, and I ate some food. I made sure it was quality, it was protein, and I got some vegetables too, and a bunch of oranges. That was a trick that I did. I was like, I'm hungry, I want to eat something, but I didn't know if I needed it or not, so I ate like a bunch of oranges, like 4 of them or something or whatever. And you can have 10 of them or more, but I didn't feel like it, so I ate healthy, and that was yesterday. I kind of didn't work out that much, but I did do some push-ups because in the day before I wasn't doing as much chest. I hadn't done as much chest as I could, so I was able to do more push-ups. Then I woke up today and I was like, yes, I took it easy that day, kind of ate more food a little bit and did what I had done before. And today I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna do more workouts. But I can't work out as much as I did. It was like a special kind of workout day that 2 days ago. But I can make my body look better. So already this morning I did one set of 44 push-ups, another set of 44 push-ups, and another set of 48 push-ups. I did 136 push-ups. This morning I had a little bit of coffee. Already it's 6:49 a.m. I've been awake since 5. I look back at some older videos that I had on private that add up to 57,000 views. There's one video is 49,000 views. I had it on private for a while. I put that one on public. I don't want to say what it is, but I have it on public, so it's like my total views will look like it's more. And there's this really special one, Devil Kills Monster, and it sounds like it could be bad, but it's not at all. It stands up for it's a Christian it's a Christian video. The moral of the video is that there's a little kid who's playing with his friend, doing their imagination stuff. When they're a little kid, there's like, you know, their imagination. They're pretending to dress up as a monster. The other kid's pretending to dress up as a superhero. They have costumes on. And then there's me, who shows up as a monster. And so Rowan plays the devil in the thing. And the other little kid plays the superhero, and I play the monster. And we're talking, and it's like Christian, good, kind human beings, or people, good, kind people, the kids, me. My character might have been a little bit, I don't know, I'd have to think about it if I was good or bad. I think, but we're mostly good. And so the actual devil in the film who kills me, when it's called Devil Kills Monster, is the superhero. The kid who's fantasizing about being the good guy, a superhero who shoots all those 10,000 people from a foreign country out of his, you know, out of his helicopter, and killed 10,000 bodies and threw them on the side like the Nazis. But he's American, so he's a good guy. It's okay for him to kill those innocent people. He's a superhero. Or something like, you know, it's not that bad. But, you know, some superheroes are good. Superman is good. Superman's good. I like Superman. I like the military. I stand up for the military. So many of those people got into heaven. They didn't want to go to war. They made them go to war. It sucked. And they made it to heaven. A lot of them. They're good people. They are good human beings, the military people. But that's one way to look at it. But when I was watching the video, I didn't even think about it when we made the video, all the reasons. I just made a good film, and it happened to be called Devil Kills Monster. And it was like Rowan's directorial debut when he was 4 years old. And the bad guy, who's the actual devil who kills the monster, is the superhero kid dressed as a superhero who shoots me with something in it, and I'm the monster, and it kills me. And I fall down and die. And so the actual devil, it's like, it has classical music, has the soundtrack that I got the rights to, and it has, I really must have gotten the rights to that music before they had a YouTube library. I know I did that somehow. I paid like $40 per track or something like that, or however much per track, and got it on Revo stock or something like that. So it's a good film. It shows that non-believers, or people who think they're non-believers, really believe in God and Jesus, and they really do good. They really do good. They're really good people, and they're more likely to get into heaven than some of the people who say, I'm Christian, and then they really are mean and really sinful. But they say they're Christian, but they're really sinful. And Jesus said in the Bible that many of those people who are non-believers, Jews, even some people, those people get into heaven more than the ones who say they're Christian or follow the law, or the priests and the rabbis back then who were the experts on the law, and they thought they were getting into heaven more based on the Old Testament. But there are these other people who may be considered non-believers who are more likely to get into heaven than them, or Christian, or some of the bad Christians who say they're Christian but they sin more, and mostly, so it's a good film. It's a good film. I was happy watching it, and I put that on public again because it had worried me. I saw devil, it's stupid. That's not what the film's about. It's really good, and it says it's a Christian film at the beginning. And I did that with Rowan, I think in 2000. 10 or 11 or something, or 12, 10 or 11, 2011 I think, sometime early 2011 or 2010 or 12, something like that. And he was 4. He was born in 2006, and that was his directorial debut. It was his ideas, what he wanted to film, and I filmed it as the producer who was able to make his ideas a reality. So he got to direct a film when he was 4 years old. He got to direct a film when he was 4 years old. I'm gonna try to put a link. I'm gonna put a link to it. I'm gonna put a link to it in the video description under this video, so you can. I'll tell you when it's there. I'm doing it now, so you can refresh the page, and it'll show up. I'm doing it now. Hold on. Wait. My son's directorial debut at age 4 by Rowan Birmingham. What did I do? Oh, I pressed by Rowan Birmingham. Devil kills monster. Oh, okay, I saved it. If you want, you can refresh the page and it'll show up under this video. It'll show up under this video the link to my son's directorial debut at age 4. Devil Kills Monster, Rowan Birmingham. So I watched that again this morning and put that on public because I had to see, is that something, and it's good. It's a good film. It's a good film. Well, I let the cat in this morning. A tiny bit of something from its fur came and landed on my nose to make me fucking itch my nose. I'm sorry. I was nice to the cat this morning. But instead of blaming the cat and saying, yep, it's your fault for doing that, I got to get rid of the cats now and have no one else. No. What I didn't realize was that I probably felt really happy and good this morning and okay. Had something to do with the cat, but I wasn't really aware, oh, that's because of the cat, because I got along with the cat, pet him this morning, everything was nice. And my nose itch. Anyway, I don't like letting the cat up here that much because I got this clean here. Well, maybe I'm supposed to, but I put the stuff on his back to kill any of the tiny any bugs that might go on him. They die. You put it behind his neck. You put it behind his neck. That stuff behind his fur, behind his neck, and then it takes a few hours or a day or whatever, and all the bugs, well, there are no bugs on them, but if any bugs go on them, they die. I might do more workouts. I made it somehow. It was not easy. Well, I didn't make it to heaven, but I made it this far without dying or something going wrong with me. It was pretty difficult in 2018, 2019. I was so depressed. I thought there's something, a little later, I was worried about something wrong with my health. And it was just, I didn't get enough vitamin D. So thank God it was just that, from being away from people for so long or whatever. But I worked on my house a bunch. Well, that's a video on what I've been up to. That's a video on what I've been up to. That's like a blog update. Yo! 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 I don't. It's all right. I have to piss because I probably don't look as skinny as I like to. I don't know. Stupid, man. He's stupid. That's unpopular. That's unpopular. Axl Rose wouldn't like it when he was in his prime. You gotta drink whiskey and get skinny like him. Come on, man, do it. And you're dead when you're 52. Shoot, man, calm down on that shit. Drink your whiskey and shut up. Don't tell anyone. But don't tell anyone because you're a school teacher. Don't tell. You're a school teacher. Yeah, drinking sick, sweating whiskey. Okay, I'm gonna go. Little old me. No, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. Bye, everyone. Whew. Bye. This is John. My makeup wore off of my entire face. Yo. I put this makeup on 2 days ago. I'm gonna wash it off. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go wash my makeup off. Bye. Oh, check out more videos. Dear God and Jesus, please, dear God and Jesus, be with us on earth to do your work and protect us from evil, protect us from bad, help us be okay on earth. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory are yours. The kingdom and power and glory are yours, God. Are yours, God. Amen. And help us to do the work we do on earth that we're okay enough to do. And if it's too much for us to do, please help us to not have to do those things that are too difficult for us to do. Only give us as much as we're able to do. That's kind of why I want to do film videos, music or things like that that are in films and videos. Because there's only so much I can do with the other stuff, but I've been having to do it anyway for 14 something years. And before that, all this school I went to, 7 or 8 years, 8 years of college. I had 3 year MFA, 4-year undergraduate degree. Went to more school because I transferred so many times, maybe another year, including some of the non-matriculated classes I took. I took non-matriculated at UCLA Film School, USC Film School, a bunch of other places and stuff. But 9 real colleges and universities that I got accepted to, send my application and got accepted to 9 colleges and universities. Virginia Western, Radford University, Kingsborough Community College in near Coney Island in Brooklyn. I went there for a month, I think a month or a summer or something. I stayed there with my grandmother, Noni. I was like, I don't want to stay in Brooklyn. So I went back, and that's when I started Radford University. And then I did really good. I did a really good job at Radford University and got almost all A's. And I got into Virginia Polytechnic Institute. That was not easy to get into, but I got in there. I made good grades there. Pretty good grades. That was hard to do. One of the classes was so hard to do, but it was I made it through there and made okay an okay GPA. And then I may have gone, oh, and then I went to Otis College of Art and Design in Los Angeles for a summer class in LA, and I was like, this is what I want to do. That's when I did a video class in art. I was like, this is what I want to do. So I moved back to LA, took a year to work on films, go to UCLA Extension, sit in UCLA film classes when I wasn't really accepted to it, but thought that was a way to talk to them and get accepted, and USC film classes. And I was like 19 and 20. I was 19 when I went to UCLA Film School and sat in there. One time I wore sunglasses. I put makeup on and sunglasses and sat in the class. And everyone recognized, they didn't recognize me, but everyone knew it was like this guy who had makeup on, who was a young kid, who was 19. And I had sunglasses. I don't know why I wore sunglasses and makeup. And it was a giant lecture. This particular room was a giant lecture, but the real film classes, I sat in one where they played Nanook of the North. Nanook of the North, it was a small class, 12 people or 30 people. And it was like, they screened Nanook of the North. And they took roll at the end. I didn't know what to write down because I wasn't supposed to be there. I was like, or I was, but they said you could sit in and talk to, I was going to try to talk to the professor and see if I could get into the film school. And, and I watched Nanook of the North. It's this movie about Eskimos. It's a documentary. And it was really good. But they said online when I searched, you sit in the classes, you can, back then, I don't know if they do it now, but you could talk to the professor and sit in the classes and try to get in. And that wasn't how you get, I don't know, for some people maybe they get in that way. But that's what Al did a lot, or a bunch. And then I think he got degrees from schools too. I think he got a BA or BAs and stuff like that. I don't know. He at least got a BA. And I think. And he went to way more schools, but he wasn't matriculated. He just kind of sat in and studied at like the best schools at like Trinity University. But I think some of them, he was a researcher and they really let him be there. And he's lectured at Roanoke College. Al has lectured at Roanoke College. I went to Roanoke College too in the summer. I took 2 classes there. I got accepted, and I sent my application into Roanoke College, got accepted. Took 2 classes there in the 90s. And then I went to, then I didn't want to go to a private school because I thought it was expensive for my parents. But finally I got into LMU. And they had they had one of the cool indie radio stations in LA, KXLU. And I was kind of thinking, oh, I'll get to, go to the radio station and they'll hear my music and I'll get famous like Jim Morrison. But instead I kept studying and going to the school, and I got the degrees and stuff. And I got a screenwriting degree from there. And I worked on Danica's films, and I worked in LA on movies a little bit, and it made me sad that I wasn't directing. I wasn't getting to be the director because I was just the production designer. And I started as an intern, and they let me be production designer on some smaller indie film or whatever happened. People got some money together, like the manager at Guitar Center, who made $80,000 a year or $120,000 a year or whatever it was, saved up his money, and he made his own indie film for like $200,000 or $400,000 or something like that. So so they were making that around town, and I sent my resume on the film sites, and I was like, I can be production designer. I was production designer on Danica's short film that she did when we were going to LMU. And then I started working as production designer on various indie films, and then I started researching it more, and I was like, to really work as a big production designer, you got to learn engineering and how to build homes and stuff like that. And I was like, it made me sad, and I didn't want to do that. So I just stopped doing it. And I kept staying at my apartment. It was after I graduated with a BA. I was like, and I went home for the winter break to Roanoke, where it was snowy, Christmas, stuff like that. And I had a video camera that my mom got me, and an editing computer that I got to edit Danica's films. And I started learning editing really well. And I made Rebel Fish for $200, my short film Rebel Fish. And I worked on it relentlessly because I did not want to be a production designer. Also, I had worked in LA at Universal Theme Park, and there was no hope for movies in the future of that at that particular kind of job. You could do them outside of that, but to move up through the ranks in that, you can't do movies. And he told us that the first day, but it didn't hit me, and I kept, or one of the first days when they're training us, and I kept going out there working, walking around the park, and it was so sad that it hurt my back to walk around the park. And I could barely walk around the park, and I had to just quit and go home. And it's like, I didn't want to do it. So I worked really hard at making my first short film, and I made Rebel Fish, and and then I kept doing more and more films, like almost any money I could get together that I could make the budget with or somehow do it. It was like, it was really hard. Every film that I did, it was like, no one really, well, the first film that I did when I was at grad school, when I finally got into a grad school and went to grad school, my mom helped me pay for it. But it was my idea to do a giant feature film. None of the other kids really did feature films. They did a short film. You do a short film as your thesis project, but I wanted to do a real movie. It had been, well, anyway, so I made a movie. My mom helped me with the funding a little bit. And then anytime I wanted to make a movie, I'd have to get the money together any way I could. And sometimes I didn't have the money and did it on credit cards and barely, like, I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills in the future. I somehow made the films somehow that looked like real movies by learning how to do it myself, by learning really how to do a good job of it. And then I paid the debt. I paid back the debt years later. And people have debt, and they also might own 10 times as much money as that debt. In America, people have debt, or they have some debt and they have a little more stuff that they own, or something like that. I don't know. People have different, they might have however much debt or not debt or whatever it is. But in America, people kind of have debt, and it's not that good to spend on credit cards. I can't really do it anymore. I don't want to, because I've had to save money. And most of the only clothes I have are because my mom gave me clothes. Because she saw my clothes had paint and stuff on them from working on this house. Any money I put into this house to make sure I was able to keep living and not be thrown out on the street. I had to work on this house a lot, and way more than that, because it was, I suffered at this house working so hard. And so I might have to stay here, I don't know. But I'd like to go out there and have a social life and work on movies again. And I have a pretty big resume in movies, and if I go back to LA, I don't have to be just a production designer, because and that's not what I want to do. Because when you get into the big budget movies as production designer, you got to know like engineering, or must be like a really amazing creative type who has those specialists to work with and stuff and know how to work with them. But I don't want to be a production designer. I can be a director, but I don't even really want to do that. I want to be the actor. I'd like to get in like way better shape, really low body fat, to where it looks like I'm like Joe Aesthetics. Joe Aesthetics, that would suck. Average Joe. No, Joe Aesthetics. Let me show you Joe Aesthetics. I showed him to Corey the other day, and he said he did a voice for him. I showed him to my friend Corey, and he did a voice. He said, "Hey, jalapenos," or something like that. Instagram. Let me show you this guy. He's 4.9 million followers. Hey, he showed right up. Oh, his butt too. He's not gay. That's the gayest picture I've ever seen of him. See, my parents try to pretend, oh, it's gay if you want to look good. That's the gayest ass picture I've ever seen of him. He's not gay. Look, I mean, obviously not. He likes women. Oh shit, I didn't even show it. Well, you know, my parents try to act like if you look that way, you're gay. If you're that into your own sexual sex, then you're gay. But they don't do that. They don't say that. They've never said that out loud. My parents aren't that way. They have friends who are gay and stuff. They don't say they're gay, but they have very old friends who I think are gay. Like friends they've had since the 80s or 70s, 80s. See this guy? Look at his body. Look what kind of shape he's in. I know he did one cycle of steroids though, but he must hardly eat that. You know, he must hardly eat that much food. I don't know why he's a picture of him on a bed with a woman. That's like too much. Or with a bed. You know, I don't know what he did. Hopefully he's didn't do anything sexual with her. But he has an amazing physique. And look where it got him. 4.9 million followers. He pays his bills at that. He pays his bills at that. If you can get in that kind of shape, look what he does. He does this weird thing with his chest where it looks like it's like he started this cool thing that he does with his chest. I'll look back at his older videos. A lot of people tried to copy it. Only people who have like way low body fat or way into health and fitness. I only saw one other person never do it. He does something with his chest where he flexes the muscles on it, and it looks like like he drinks like an electrolyte drink, and he does it with his chest like it's going right to his chest to do this cool thing. But he has a really good physique, but his midsection is really small. I don't know where that video is of him doing that cool thing that he does with his chest. That's like, you know, he's a human body, and he really looks like that. You know, he has very low body fat, a lot of muscle. Generally, you need one cycle of steroids to do that, and then really not eating as much food, or he could probably eat whatever he feels like, but sometimes and still look good. But he really watches it to keep that low body fat. He has very low body fat. See, this is a video of what he does with that thing that he does to his chest. Yeah, that's what he does. But now it's got a vein in it. But he used to not have a vein in it. It does this like weird, yeah, he does that thing with his chest. Nobody else really ever did that I saw of the fitness people. But besides this one guy who copied him. See, it's like, how does he do that? No, I don't know. So his name's Joe Aesthetics. I didn't follow him for a long time. I unfollowed him because you know, there's supposed to be things that are more important than that. But now it's like, it makes me feel happy because I got so bad feeling about my body when I watched my body in the video of me working out. It's called Working Out, from like a couple days ago or so. At the beginning of the video, I felt like I looked awful. My hair looked stupid. I had not worked out much in a month because I worked so hard at my house. And the video before that is, look how great my house is. And then it really made it so I wasn't working on my health as much. So I want to work on my physique more. You know, you don't want to have it get so bad. In the past, you know, it was never that bad for me, my health. But I did have low vitamin D. Did have low vitamin D. Look how small his stomach is. That's cool. I don't know how he did that. and because of the way he looks and what he does, he has 4.9 million followers, and he makes a bunch of money at it, like 200,000 a year or something. There are a bunch of these fitness people on Instagram, but it's felt inappropriate for me to even post my stuff or pursue Instagram for some fucking reason. It sucked. Like, I'm not supposed to be a model type and do that, but I'd actually want to do that and then be an actor and be really good at the acting and do my own movies and show up in my own movies. But you have to do like a cycle of steroids, I think, to get his physique. I'm pretty sure. And then it stays pretty easy. Like, I've seen a couple and they do one cycle of steroids and then they don't do it again, and it keeps the body fat low. But it's possible. It is possible without steroids. This particular physique, his arm looks small. His arm looks small. And that's possible to get this low body fat in the midsection, but it's really not easy to do. You got to work at it a lot, see how much your body can take. And if it's hurting your body in a lasting way, then don't do it. If it's the small amount of pain that helps you get better, then you're able to do more. And it's like getting motivated to give 110%. So compared to this guy, I'm going to look awful if I show myself working out now. Because look at him. I mean, this is ridiculous. Have you seen a human being that looks that way? Like, they have people that look that way nowadays, and they make a lot of money at it because they look that way, and they go out there and make videos of it and pictures of it. And people are like, wow, that's the physique that they want. But this is a Photoshop picture, I think. I'm pretty sure this is Photoshop. They made this smaller. They outlined the background, zoomed out on it behind him, zoomed out on the background behind him, and then they pulled this in smaller. So the background stayed the same, but they made it bigger behind his body. So then they could pull his stomach in smaller here to make it look like it's ridiculously smaller than it really is. But there's a chance it could be real. I don't know. These people really look amazing in real life. He travels a lot. He goes out there a lot and travels. But I don't know if you don't really have to. It's just really the way he looks and getting the photos and videos of it. But I guess he's making even more money at it when he goes out there and does things like at events and stuff. How did he hurt himself? That sucks. Because he has parents, He has parents who have bodies that are aging, and he's got to be kind to them and fit in with them, and they're his peers, and he loves them. You can't turn your back on your parents, or you end up like a mean-ass demon in hell. So he probably, his close people in his life are people who are older than him and younger and different ages and stuff, and he's got to get along with them. So it's like, he's human. He doesn't want to be a tormented human with no, really hurt in hell. So he's a human being. I guess he gets, I guess here and there he hurt his arm, or there he hurt it. He had a problem, but that's not that big of a thing when he got back in shape and got to make this much money at it. 4.9 million followers. That's like $200,000 a year at least, or 400,000. He might make $1 million a year. He might make way more than I thought. Can you imagine getting this low body fat? He had to do steroids for that. People cannot do that naturally. Look at that. That's from steroids. But then he doesn't flex it, and he's like, oh, he just looks, well, I don't know. He might have dehydrated himself a little bit, which would suck, but, he doesn't do that. He's healthy. Joe aesthetics. That's the thing, aesthetics. That's been around in bodybuilding for a while. But I wasn't allowed to even say aesthetics. It felt like it was cutting into someone or hurting them. So I couldn't even say this stuff, because how my life is. If I turn my back on those people, it'd be even worse. I'm not going to show this guy's butt. I don't know why he showed his butt as the first picture. Look, he's trying to get women though. He's not gay. I'm afraid to show it. I might not be able to show it in a YouTube video. I'm going to turn that off. But he's in really good shape. Now I'm going to show you my regular physique. I'm gay. No, I'm not gay. Okay. So this is me. Hi. Like, I could really lose body fat to get that kind of definition. Or it's like not doing the thing. It's not doing it. It's like, oh, he's, whatever, average guy. I got to rely on comedy and go out to LA where I can do those films bigger. But he doesn't know how to write a screenplay. He probably can't play any music. He probably can't sing. He works on his physique. He takes pictures of his physique. He promotes it a lot. He's a bunch to where he makes a bunch of money at it. He's a different kind of person. But you can learn that. You can get better at physical fitness. I wasn't in particular that strong when I was I had been bedridden working so hard in my film Rebel Fish, and I was 130 or less. I was maybe 125 pounds, and my right leg had almost atrophied. I was 100 pounds less than I am now, and I look in okay shape. I weighed 100 pounds less than this. So that was when I really stayed in bed and worked on editing. I taught myself how to edit. No teacher taught me that besides the theory of it. I learned the theory of editing in school, but I had to actually do it, a lot of it. And other things, some of that stuff I learned in school. But then also I went to a ton of school and got to crew on films actually with other film students, and they crewed on my films. That was a miracle that I finally didn't have to just like take other classes and stuff to get the degree. And so I did all these different things, but he's the really famous one that people know and want to look like. Who the fuck would want to look like this? Not that many. I don't know. It's okay. Like, I don't have as many health problems or haven't, but I could die any day. I don't know. Shit, somebody's gonna try to I don't know. I should be happy with wherever I am now for some reason, because there are other people in my life who make me the person you are. Show me your company, I'll show you who you are. My parents, Danica, Al, a little bit other friends and family. My parents, Danica and Al, and me, and my kids. My kids. So it's not like I'm going in the same circles. I don't know what that even means. I've found God in Jesus. I found God in Jesus. That's the most important thing. Following God in Jesus. Whether or not people know that they're doing it. They might be kind and do it in their own way, but you really need God and Jesus so you don't, it's like walking through the dark without God and Jesus. They can get misled. You have to have God and Jesus so you know how to be. It tells us how to be in the Bible. Or else, it's almost or else is what will come up. And then it's between you, like people start thinking, should I tell them I'm going to hurt them or else? Or something like that. And then people can start being really mean to keep trying to go for those things they thought were the most important, like money or whatever those things they thought they had to get. And as kind as they thought they were, without God and Jesus, they're likely going to get misled. It's like going through the dark. And at some time, they could sin really bad without God and Jesus. It's very likely. It's almost Hey. Yo. 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 So stupid. I gotta turn this video off. There are more important things like family, rather than being the Joe's whoever with 8 billion views or dollars or whatever the heck those people are gonna have, $20 million or whatever those people are. So I'm gonna go. Bye. Bye. It's John Birmingham. Bye.